Facebook Live, good afternoon. First, let me acknowledge the music. I am very, very delighted. Well, first let me introduce myself, then I'll acknowledge the music. I am Eunice LaFate, award-winning folk artist and owner of LaFate Gallery, located at 227 North Market Street in Wilmington, Delaware. Did I say Vision Center? LaFate Gallery Vision Center. The music you're hearing is the music of famous Wilmington, Delaware jazz trumpeter. That's Tony Smith, aka Big Cat. That's Tony Smith's music you're hearing. And I am delighted that he has confirmed that he will provide live music at the opening reception of Jazz into Spring. That's the theme for the April exhibition at LaFate Gallery. That exhibition opens on Friday, April the 2nd from 5 to 8 p.m. And yes, I know that Friday is Good Friday. Yeah, because in our culture, we celebrate Good Friday with fasting from the moment we wake up until midday. Then at midday, we would break that fast and we would have that lunch. So yes, and there is time enough for that. So you'll go to your service and worship at 12 o'clock, break your fast if you fast, and then at 5 o'clock, you can join us at LaFate Gallery for this great celebration, Jazzing into Spring. And the theme for this afternoon is Impact Wall. Spring Impact Wall with jazz painting. So we are jazzing into spring. We are changing the ambience of our home walls, or office walls, or business walls, whichever of those. It's time to put away what we have on the wall and put something new, something springy. So let me qualify. I'm not underestimating anyone's intelligence, but I want to explain what an impact wall is. It is very prevalent in cities like New York. An impact wall is that conspicuous wall in your home where, as you enter the door, what pops out to you would be a theme of art. And the interior designer, or you yourself, would choose that art by theme. You could select your favorite artist to create that impact wall. Then you could select a theme of work. And I am very proud to say that LaFate Gallery, which is 28 years in business, has 20 different themes of work. So name it. You can find art for your ambience. Choose a theme. So it is spring now. I have spring flowers. Along with that, the month of April is International Jazz Month. So I'm also celebrating jazz with spring. And that's why the theme is Jazz into Spring, with an array of beautiful spring buds, spring blossoms, tropical and local. I've painted it all. So yes, that's how you're going to be creating your impact wall. So if it's an office, when you enter that office, that wall should reflect the season, should reflect something dynamic that grabs the attention of the visitor or business person. And I can tell the culture of a business. When I walk into a business, the first thing I do, I look at the walls. And whatever is on the wall gives me a scope, an impression of what that business is like. So for example, if I enter your office, and now I'm going to focus on my city here, because I've gone to many other cities and I've seen it, but it's lacking here in my city. If it's Black History Month and I enter your office and I look at your walls, I want to see art that reflects Black history and local art. I don't want to see those beat up prints that are all over your place. You need to be inclusive and you need to be with the times. Move with the times. Put art on your wall that reflects your community, the culture, the people. You live in a city. We are in a city here which is like 70% Black and minority. So every wall, every office wall, business, government, etc., when it's Black History Month, for example, should reflect the diversity of the city. I see it. I have traveled to many other states, and that's how it is. But here, we tend to be politically correct. Oh, we must have a certain line of art that doesn't rock the boat. You know, it must be in that narrow vacuum. No, get out of that vacuum. Be inclusive. Support our local artists. I'm not saying support Eunice, LaFate, and LaFate. I'm saying our local artists. We have a wide variety of dynamic, powerful artists in the city. And in 2014, I was designated an award with a title, Advocate. That means I am an advocate for arts in our city and state. And when I speak, I am not casting aspersions. I am just saying, just wake up with the times. Get with the times. Get out of the bubble. Get out of the tunnel vision. Widen your vision. And display art in your business, in your office, in your home that reflects the community, that reflects diversity. That being said, now let's talk about that impact wall. So it's spring, and I want you to decorate, redecorate with spring flowers. And that's what I'm going to be showing you now. A series of spring-related spring blossoms that can create an impact wall. And I chose to make it very affordable. I am not going to start with my originals, which are in the thousands, because I've earned my notoriety, so my pieces don't come cheap as they used to be. If you got me back in the 90s, you would have gotten them very, very cheap. But now, you pay for them based on my awards, based on my title. That's just how it works. So let's go now to build that impact wall. And we're going to build it with miniatures, 5x7 pieces, framed. So let's go. And I am going to be starting. You recall, I have been telling you how last year this time, when we were in the heart of the pandemic and we were on lockdown and I could not come to my gallery, I stayed home and created art from nature. And my slogan was, the beauty of nature is not on lockdown. The beauty of nature is never closed. It is alive. So here we go. Here we go to what I created inspired by the pandemic last year. And now we're dealing with miniatures. Look at that beautiful miniature right there. The title, Pandemic Roses. I saw those roses when I had gone for a walk in the early stages of the pandemic. Yes, it was a very sunny day. Took a walk. Had my mask on naturally. And I saw the flowers. They were just in bloom. Along the wayside. They're annuals. They spring up during springtime. And because I was trying to cope, I named the piece Pandemic Roses. That is a framed miniature. And this is a note card. You know, in the era of high tech, people don't send cards anymore, hardly. And if you're my friend, don't send me an e-card. I don't want an e-card. I want a natural card. So I do have, yes, note cards. So there goes a note card. It is blank on the inside. Why? Why should I write a greeting for you? I want you to come up with a greeting for that special person, to say something very personal. So Pandemic Roses. That's the first piece. Yes, it was still during the early stages of the pandemic. And here's the next piece. And this one, in an imaginary way, went back to my homeland, Jamaica. And I focused on nature. Because growing up as a child in the beautiful countryside, nature was what inspired me to create art. I didn't create it in color then. It was all in black and white on the walls of my home with charcoal. But later on, as my skills grew, I started with flowers because nature is powerful. There is power in flowers. And this is Jamaica's national flower. The purple blue section is actually the national flower titled Lignum Vitae. That's Lignumvitae. In Latin, it means the wood of life. And it's very powerful. The Lignum Vitae tree has numerous grains. And it's multi-purpose. They use it for wood, for furniture, for all different purposes. That's the Lignum Vitae. And interspersed is another very powerful flower, tropical in nature. Well, it grows here too, but this is a tropical version. And that's the hibiscus. I love hibiscus. When I was in elementary school and the teachers discovered my artistic talent, we didn't have those borders we have here. We created our own borders with colored chalk. And the teachers would call me to their classroom. They didn't pay me. And they would ask me to decorate the borders of their chalkboard. We didn't call it chalkboard. We called it blackboard because they were all black. And I would get those stick of colored chalk and I would go around the various classrooms and decorate seasonally whatever was out there. I would decorate those chalkboard borders. That's how my talent developed. So the hibiscus is a very, very favorite flower for me. And here's a miniature. We are doing an impact wall. And if you're just joining me, I am talking about interior decorating for spring impact wall, changing the ambience of your home, office, or business by brightening the walls with art, not prints, art. I'm not those, what you call it now, department store prints. That's not really art. Okay. So, miniature, hibiscus. Here's a note card. It is springtime. Wish somebody well for the springtime. Get a blank note card. I'll tell you in a moment how you can get these. They'll be uploaded to my website over the weekend. They'll be available. And even though Easter is coming and I was hoping you'll have them ready for Easter, you can still get them anytime. And it's spring. Spring is just starting. So that's the famous hibiscus lignum vitae. Impact wall. Can you imagine these across the wall? Let's go to the next one. And if it's spring, it's daffodils. This is the flower of spring, daffodils. Again, these are in miniatures, and I frame them all in the same color that when you build your impact wall, they will just pop. Everything will be so coordinated. So that's the daffodil right there. Here's a daffodil card. I've sent out a few of these already to my customers. And, friends and relatives, I've sent cards out. You don't have to wait until special time of the year to send a card. So, especially at this time when people are so stressed, send something to brighten up someone's day. Get a card. And these note cards are only, with an envelope, they're only $5. So you're not talking, that's pocket change. And you're not going to find these in the stores, the department stores and the card stores out there. No, you won't. Only available at LaFate Gallery, located at 227 North Market Street, Wilmington, Delaware, and will be online soon at www.lafategallery.com. They will also be on my other site that customizes my art and makes tote bags, fleece blankets, throw pillows, a range of products from them. They'll be there too. I did put the link. So there's a link for my website, and there's a link to get products, mugs, t-shirts, etc. So yes, we are decorating. There we go. We already have 3 startling pieces here. Stunning works of art to create that ambience, that spring ambience on your impact wall. Wow. This one is special. It's a pandemic piece. Yes. Remember I told you how music helped me to cope during the pandemic? And when all was there was all hell breaking loose, and when everything was on lockdown and panic and stress, I didn't stress it. I developed my slogan, don't mope, find creative ways to cope. And I turn on my music, my Bob Marley music, the 3 Little Birds. And the refrain of that song says, don't worry about a thing. Don't worry about a thing, for every little thing gonna be all right. And that's what I used in the pandemic, in the initial stage, to console myself that the beauty of nature was alive. It was not on lockdown, gave me the opportunity to paint. And then the music of Bob Marley, which reassured me that every little thing gonna be all right. Yes, it's very philosophical. So that's the miniature right there. We're still on the ambience wall. So now we have gone to 4 pieces. Yes, and we can get the note card. How about picking up, or not picking up, it's not in the store yet, but you'll get it online soon. But if you come to the gallery at 227 North Market Street in Wilmington, Delaware, I do have a limited edition of these note cards. And prints, just very, very limited. So how about sending a card like this to someone who is in stress, who is in distress? They may have lost a loved one, and you're trying to reach out to pour out your heart to help them, to console them. You write your message, again, they're blank. I don't write messages. There are very rare cards that I put a message in. yes, let's keep going. Let's keep going. And the next piece, and I do have part of it, this one is titled Anthurium Bouquet. Now, when I lived in Jamaica, one of the parishes is Christiana, as in Christiana here. It is in the middle of the island, and it has beautiful, actually, North American weather there. And my sister, who lived on a big, or who lives, she's still there, on a big property. She had an expansive flower garden, and she loved her flowers so much she would even talk with them. Yeah, she would talk with the flowers. And in her front yard was a patch of anthuriums. And I'd lived there during my internship. And I would wake up with her and just gaze on the beautiful flowers. So that is Anthurium Bouquet right there. I do have it in note card too. Now we're coming to a very philosophical piece. I left this for the last because there is something very, very important about this work of art. Of all the works of art, this one goes back to my childhood memories. Recall I told you that at age 7 was when I founded my artistic talent. Wasn't able to paint because I did not have the luxury of paints and brushes and all those equipment. So I would draw. However, I was drawn to nature. And this flower, let's go up front and close, titled Morning Glory. Morning Glory. It is the most precious piece of my work. I painted this in 2019. The Newcastle County, where they were honoring great women in history. They invited me to be their keynote speaker. And the theme they had was Power in the Arts. And it was a Sunday, the 3rd of March, 2019. And I had written my keynote address. I had mapped it out. And I woke up the morning and I said, there is something missing. I need to have a work, since it's power in the arts we're talking about, I need to have a work of art that relates to power in the art, or power in art. And because this flower was instrumental in inspiring my artistic talent, I grabbed my canvas that morning and paints, and I painted this. It took me just probably an hour because I was so engrossed in the power of it. Power in flowers. Morning Glory. And that's the botanical name, but we had 2 other names for it. I would wake up in the morning and I would see the patch of flowers, and I would see the buds, the petals opening. And precisely at 4 o'clock, Jamaica time, 4 p.m., the petals would close. As a child, I would virtually stand up over those flowers and watch those petals close and be joyful in the morning to see them. And that is why we named it, for the morning session, we named the flower Get Up and Kiss Me, because the petals open then. And then for the afternoon, since they close precisely at 4 o'clock, we named it 4 o'clock. So Morning Glory is very, very, very special in my series. I do have the original painting. It is available for purchase. It is a treasure to collect. I have limited edition print. And since we're talking about the impact wall, so this piece goes on the impact wall that I'm helping you to build. See where we started with the pandemic roses, the pandemic hibiscus, the beautiful spring daffodils, three little birds, and there are more. Then we talked about the anthurium bouquet, the anthurium, and then I am putting a big focus on this one, Morning Glory, since it has meant so much to me in my childhood life. Yes, so then, are you ready to build your impact wall? Are you ready to change the ambience of the walls of your home, your office, or your business? Then if you are, then let's go. The theme is Jazz into Spring. Let us jazz into spring, because that is the theme for the exhibition. Well, wait until you see that exhibition. That exhibition will be hung next week to replace the Women's History Month. And before I finish this video, I'm going to put the spotlight back on those three artists that are exhibiting in my gallery. As of now, we haven't had a sale. I've been putting it out there, and no one has patronized their work. Come on, guys. Artists must live. That's why we always hear the term starving artists. Artists need to survive, and they need to enjoy the fruits of their labor while they are alive. So support living artists. And not only are you supporting them, you are building wealth. I cannot say it enough that when you purchase art, it's more than beauty. Art is wealth. It's what you're collecting. So even if you collect those miniatures I just showed you, the miniatures, you're still building wealth. There goes my title. I teach a class on this titled, Why Buy Art? And it goes to the fact that art is wealth. It can never depreciate. It can only appreciate. The money in the bank is worthless. 0 point whatever you're getting on your money. The stock market is subject to fail. Even real estate is not guaranteed, but art can never depreciate, can only appreciate. So art appreciate art. Spring. It is spring, my favorite season. Look at those cherry blossoms. Now we're going to the bigger pieces. We are still on the ambience. I did the miniatures first, and those miniatures are only $30. So you could, add up that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pieces right there. 6 times 30. How much is that? Pocket change for some people. I don't expect the man in the street to, who is making just minimum. But those people out there who have expendable income should be purchasing art. Okay, back to the larger pieces now. This is cherry blossom. Again, the beauty of nature. And that is a limited edition print of it. People always like to see the original. Always like to show the original. Here's the original painting right here. Right there. Framed. All framed in white. Beautiful cherry blossoms. And the piece below, and let me put it so you can see it better. This is a limited edition print, and it is of the Jasper Crane Rose Garden in the city of Wilmington, Delaware. The original painting sold, and this is a limited edition print of it. The beautiful Jasper Crane Rose Garden. This is something, this is a treasure to behold. I had gone to there, actually in 2018, they honored me with their Jasper Crane Award. And I created this painting. I actually donated. See, out of charity, I donated the original painting for their silent auction. And one of my friends who work in the banking industry, she purchased the original. So that's a limited edition. Okay, so we are jazzing into spring. So those are spring art. Well, let's talk a little now about jazz art, since we're jazzing into spring. Look at this. Just look at that piece. Yes, there is some glare on it. The original painting sold. That is a limited edition print. And there are more on this wall over here. These are all limited edition, nicely framed. That original sold many, many years ago. That sold too. Yeah, I've sold some pieces, not necessarily here in the city, out of state. People have patronized the art because they know that they're collecting wealth. And those are appreciating as we speak. So, limited edition, jazz. The hibiscus I showed you, that is, this piece is a limited edition. It is double matted. You can frame it on your own. Same goes for that one. The pandemic roses. I need to change my location so we can see these better. We can get a better view of them without, yes, that is, oh, let's turn this upright. I think it is, oh yeah, there we go. There we go. Double matted. Pandemic roses. And when you buy these, you are buying history. These become heirloom. You leave it for a legacy, and you will get a note with it. I can write, because I'm keeping a pandemic journal, and there will be something written to note that this was created during the pandemic, and was created by an artist who was trying to cope when the business was on lockdown. She stayed home and painted from the beauty of nature. That's a fascinating story. It's not just a work of art. It is history. It relates. And you could, as I said, when you purchase art, you're building an estate. You're building wealth. And you can leave that for someone else. Here's another beautiful piece, original sold all the way back in 92. This is, yes, Beauty of Spring. Another spring piece right there. Spring beauty. And growing up in the tropics, I loved birds. I would just love to see the birds of all types. This is a yellow warbler. That piece, I still have the original piece. This is beautifully matted. How nice this would be for your ambience right there. You love birds? You love nature? Then this is the yellow warbler. Beautiful tropical bird. And more tropical birds. And when we were growing up, my dad didn't like the woodpecker because the woodpecker is dangerous. Would be coming on the roof and pecking on the roof, the ceiling, and creating havoc. But for whatever the reason, I love woodpecker. That's a woodpecker right there. Yeah, a dangerous bird in terms of doing damages, but still a beautiful bird. And the owl. At nighttime, we would hear the owl making sounds as if singing. Oh my. Sometimes it would be scary. And look at that. Beautiful. Now, this is the original sold. This is the only. It's called an artist proof. That means I found the negative. Because back in the days, we didn't do digital. I would take my work to a photographer, Ritz Camera Shop. Yeah, that's on 9th Street in Wilmington. And that guy would take photos of my art and give me back negatives. I still have a lot of those negatives all the way back. And it is from this, and thanks to Color Works, they are at 1908, I think it's Superfine Lane in Wilmington. They, from that negative that I gave them, that was done back, all the way back. See when this was done. Yes, this was done in 1993. I gave them the 1992, gave them the negative, and they were able to produce this. So this is one of a kind. There is no other. So if you're interested, you love birds, you want to create that extra ambience in your home, in your garden section, in that, there's that sunflower room that you have there, patio or whatever. Yeah, these are available. Now, how do you acquire all this art? Okay. I love to see people. I love to meet people. But I know it's not always physically possible, especially in the era of the pandemic, for people to come out. I would love to invite you to join us next Friday. Here's my invitation. It says, join us for Jazz into Spring at LaFate Gallery, located at 227 North Market Street in Wilmington, Delaware, from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. And it's featuring jazz and floral art. Look at this one. Yeah, I made every flower bud represent a race. Look at that. It's called Diversity Buds. Every bud represents a different race. How beautiful is that? So we're jazzing here. Look at that. 3 different generations in music. Beautiful, beautiful tropical Dunn's River waterfalls in Jamaica. Look at those orchids. And on it I put, you have seen that already, that you've seen my harmony guitars, jazzy man, jazz trio. It's going to be an entire wall will be all jazz and florals for next week. So 227 North Market Street is the location where the reception will be. It is free to the public, but you must RSVP. That means you need to call and say, I plan to attend. We don't have walk-ins in this time. We're still in the pandemic. We don't walk into any event. So call 302-656-6786 to indicate that you're coming. I did, by messenger, I sent a lot of invitations out by messenger. And by the way, let me just, this sounds like a joke, but it's not a joke to me. I sent out invitation via messenger. I got a lot of thumbs up. Now, when you're catering for an event and you invite people, thumbs up don't mean anything. Does that thumbs up mean you're going to be attending, or does it mean you saw the message? I need to know. I don't want any thumbs up. Let's not be lazy. Say, sorry, I'm unable to attend, or I'll be coming. That's just very polite. Don't give me no thumbs up. I don't know what it means when I'm catering for an event. Thumbs up cannot do it. Acknowledge my invitation by yes or sorry, I cannot attend. It's just civil. To me, it's just civil. I'm British, and we have a lot of finesse and manners. Okay, I have to say it that way, because the thumbs up, that has thrown me off many times in the past when I catered my food based on thumbs up, and people didn't show, and I had to pay for the food. I don't normally charge, my events are free, Free, but please, I don't want to waste money. I need to know if you're coming. So, in a civil way, let me know if you plan to attend. And you can do so by calling 302-656-6786 or through the same channel of that Facebook Messenger. You can either say, yes, I'll be attending, or I'm sorry, I'm not able to attend. Various reasons. I'll understand. Okay. Or you can go to www.lafategallery.com. There is a contact form. Just in that form, the comment section just indicate whether or not you're coming. And I will know how to cater it, because I put even markers on the floor. And on my door, I have a notification here. It says right here. Actually, it's in the window now. Let me show it to you. I do social distancing. I'm very, very big on social distancing. We don't have crowds here at the gallery. The last event went perfect. I had small groups of 5. Between the hours of 5 to 8, I brought in small groups of people. And we had our 6 feet distancing tape on the floor, and they walked around and enjoyed the exhibition. Then when I realized others were to come, I would politely let them know that those who were here from 5, we have other people coming in, and there is a capacity that we are trying to maintain. So my capacity for the entire gallery can be up to 70. However, because of the pandemic, they restrict the amount of people who can come in. So I keep that to no more than 20 at a time. See? That's what it says right there. Maximum. So then, if you plan to attend my event next Friday, the 2nd, between the hours, and the reason I need that RSVP, I put you in time slots. I tell my guests what time to show up. That way we don't have crowds. Make sense? I think so. Okay. Now to get my for those who cannot come, and I don't expect everybody to be able to physically be here. Those who cannot attend, I don't want you to be left out at all. I want you to acquire art to change the ambience of the walls in your house, your office, or your business. So you can acquire your art 2 ways. You could go to my website, www.lafategallery.com, and make your purchases. And I ship them to you free of cost. Now, for these miniatures, they are not online. What you can do for this, we do what is called virtual shopping. Of course, it's high-tech age now, guys. Everything is virtual. We do what is called virtual shopping via Facebook. We set it up, and we click on that messenger button. There is a phone, and there is a camera, and I can clue you in, take you in with the camera, and we FaceTime. I walk you around this gallery, show you all the art. You make your purchases. I ship them to you free of cost. So coming to the gallery is one option. 227 North Market Street in Wilmington, Delaware. And to come, you call to make an appointment. 302-656-6786. Purchase your art online at www.lafategallery.com. Those are shipped to you free of cost. If you want products from my art, and there are a range of products, there is a website that customizes my art and makes products from it. I did put a link. It says fineartamerica.com. It's a long, the HTTP, that one there. It's right there on the screen that you're looking at. Or you could go to the search bar on this website, fineartamerica.com. Type Eunice LaFate in the search bar, and it will bring up about 20 images of my work. And from those images are made products. Look, This is an assortment of mugs. Remember that beautiful flower I told you about morning glory? The morning glory can be used, just an example, to change the entire ambience of your home. Because if you go to that website, you will get shower curtain, fleece blanket, throw pillows, towels, mugs, tote bags, etc., etc. And so it goes for all. It's still Women's History Month. Look at this. Still I Rise, Maya Angelou. These mugs are even signed by the artist. Signed. These are not your ordinary mugs. They're signed by the artist. And look at the price on them. Okay. I should have put my phone on mute. I'll be back with that, friend. Okay, so here are products you can get at that website. Purses, carry-on purses, tote bag. You know how they want you to have your own shopping bags now? That's a shopping bag right there. T-shirts, all for Women's History Month. Women's History Month is ending next week. What have you purchased? Have you bought a T-shirt, a mug? What have you purchased for Women's History Month? Women reaching for the stars. If you marched on Washington, there is something there. There's something there. There is so much to acquire. So I encourage you to go to that website to buy your products and to go to my website, www.lafategallery.com, to buy art and limited edition prints and note cards. These note cards are going to be uploaded to my website by the end of the week. They will come in packs of 4 with envelopes. And let me show you what it costs for a pack of card with envelopes. That's what it costs right there. Pack of 4. The single note cards are... There goes the price for your single note cards. That right there is the cost of a note card with an envelope. It's not a money issue. Always say it's a value. What value do you place on art, collecting art as a legacy? Look at all these pieces right here. These are miniatures on other themes. So I encourage you. Collect art. Art is wealth. Art appreciates. Appreciate art. And thank you very much for watching. And have a great afternoon.